Alright guys, going to knock out the second video real quick. I think I'm dehydrated actually, I think that's my problem. Dominion voting system shares floor space with Soros Group, partnered with Soros Friend. Yeah, birds of a feather flock together, to quote some of my friends online. But let's jump into it. Dominion voting system shares office space with George Soros' self-funded left-wing George Soros-funded left-wing Tides Foundation in Toronto. National File has learnt. Our tipster made it clear that Soros people are very close with Dominion, which has partnered with a voting technology company chaired by one left-wing billionaire, George Soros. Best friends and associate Dominion was caught flipping votes from President Trump to Joe Biden in the 2020 election. Okay, so they don't know if they've been caught flipping votes at the moment. They have been caught not registering votes. And that is not known if it's intentional or accidental. I have my view on that, but I'm just stating the absolute facts at the moment. Although I think that is subject to change for more information to come out. But, you know, at the moment, I got to state facts and not my views a lot of the time. So, yeah, at the moment, I don't know if they've been caught flipping votes, but we'll see what happens when it comes out. The Trump has cited data to accuse Dominion of widespread vote flipping and vote losing in key states. Dominion is headquartered in Toronto and has a US office in Denver. So, here is the website that has since been removed. But yeah, you see Dominion voting, which is at Chute. If I could actually zoom in, here we go. So Dominion voting is at Chute 200 and 370, and Chute 360 is the Tides Canada Foundation. Now, the rest of these groups here are all far left-wing groups. So, yeah, like I say, birds of a feather do definitely flock together. The Robertson Building directory tenant shows that Dominion voting is listed as both Chute 200, the Chute is Dominion is publicly, and also Chute 370, which places it neighbourly range to the Tides Canada Foundation, Chute in 360. Tides Foundation in America, based in San Francisco, created financial supports Tides Canada Foundation. The Tides Foundation has reportedly received more than $20 million in donations from George Soros' group, and Tides share Soros' vision for radical left-wing makeover of Western civilization and the world. Tides has given out money to numerous left-wing groups, including Acorn and Project Vote, and recently created the Black Lives Matter Support Fund. So that's obviously the directory listing there. Then obviously if we go down here, we have Dominion Voting Systems. The address is 215 Splendor Avenue, Chute 200, Canada. But they also have 360, I believe it was, or 370? 360? 370. They also have Office 370 as well. So Tides Canada is at 360, Toronto. Yeah, so Dominion's at 215, 200 and 370, and Tides Canada is 360. Now, it's just one link between Dominion voting system and George Soros across a Wired report that Dominion entered into a 209 contract with Systematic and provided Systematic with PCOS machines, optical scanners, that were used in the 2010 Philippines election, the biggest automated election run by a private company. Systematic is chaired by Marco Brown, who's good friends with George Soros and even called Soros his landlord at 5-bedroom house in Westchester County, New York. Now, Marco Brown has worked with Soros and for a variety of projects, including as vice chairman of the Open Source Institute and also funded Soros-funded management. Majanko Brown is listed as a global board member of Georgia's Open Society Foundation. He is Here is Malako Brown photographed with friend George Soros. So Nancy Pelosi is also linked to Dominion voting system. And like I say, people are going to say, look, obviously, look, oh, wow, whoop-de-doo, they share office space. Well, the thing is that these guys get pretty close and cozy, and this is something that Rebel Media has obviously found out. So what they found out was that some of these people that have worked in these office buildings tend to switch between corporations. So they have a very cozy relationship. They really do. So let's go through and we're going to play this.
Queensland Hunt.
Alright, so we're going to go through and we're going to play this. This is the Rebel Media clip and it goes for about 15 minutes, 30 minutes. We're not going to play the whole thing. Please obviously go and check it out. Please smack that like button, but let's just watch the first 5 minutes or so.
Office space for 215 Spadina. We're wondering if this is the right number.
I'm actually going to put you through to my partner, Maya Olick.
Okay. Before we do that, we're looking at a few spaces, but we're just hoping for something a little bit more sustainability oriented. And we saw the green wall in the lobby, and we just sort of see that there's other businesses there that are sustainability oriented, and we're wondering if there's sort of like a community. We're more of a left-leaning organization, and we want to make sure that our peers and community members also reflect sort of our values. So yeah. we just want to make sure that this is sort of the right fit.
Yeah, certainly would be. You can see that by the tenants,
Yesterday we broke some pretty stunning news standing outside of this very building. If you recognize it, it is the headquarters of Dominion Voting in Toronto, Canada. Why they're headquartered here? Well, that's a great question to ask. The story we broke yesterday is that they were sharing an office floor, not just an office building, but an office floor with George Soros's Tides Foundation here in Canada. We were lucky enough to catch the evidence before it was able to be deleted. We even checked on that box right there to prove that, yes, Tides Canada was here, and so was Dominion Voting, sharing an office floor. Now, unfortunately, that was after they removed the physical signage from inside. Yeah, Dominion Voting and Tides Canada, they asked the landlords here to remove any physical mention of their name. They missed that call box, but they removed the signs. You can see it here. We got it all recorded.
Could you tell us one thing, though? We know that Dominion Voting is Unit 360, and right next to them at 370 is Tides. And on this board, it's been removed, and we're wondering why that was removed. That was
removed at the request of the tenant. So
that was removed at the request of the tenants.
Now, why would they do that? What were they trying to hide? Well, that's exactly.
So, look, at the end of the day, obviously, them removing things is a little bit suspicious. I don't know. It looks like you might have something to hide. Look, we've always said that Dominion is linked to George Soros in certain ways, and they actually did go through, and they talk about it. I think it's... Here it is here, right? So this is Jonah Kerr, right? She's the president and CEO of Makeway. For years, Jonah also led the Association of Women's Rights Development, AWID, transforming it into an influential gender and women's rights advocacy organization. So, now, remember AWID and also president of Makeway. So we go back to here. There's AWID there. Right there. And They talk about Makeway, so is it a different company maybe?
That is in this building. Isn't that strange that they just sort of leapfrog in between each other, almost like they all have...
Yeah, so that's what she went from one business to the other.
President of AW. I looked into it. It turns out the people, organization, and businesses and charities in this building have a habit of sharing. Personnel, mainly. The new Tides CEO actually happened...
Ah, so that's Tides. Right, okay, yep. Okay, yeah, sorry, that's Tides. So the person who now works at Tides used to also work in the same building in a different office. AWID and...
Isn't that strange that they just sort of leapfrog in between?
Yeah, so we're just trying to find where it was. Here it is. So AWID and Tides. So she went from AWID down to work for Tides Foundation. So, you know, like I say, they have obviously a very cozy relationship. And they do obviously share the same sort of motto, birds of a feather flock together sort of thing, yada, yada, yada. So, obviously, there's that too. Now, obviously, Rebels claiming they found it first, which, good them, I suppose, good for them. And obviously, I know people are going to say, oh, but they're right-wing leaning, they're partisan. Yeah, they are partisan. Yeah, they are, definitely. Doesn't make the information any less viable. Obviously, if you want information that's going to discredit left wing, you obviously go right. If you want information of a right wing that's going to be discredit, if you're going to discredit the right wing, you go look at the left wing sources. Right? So, no big deal. But guys, yeah, obviously at the end of the day, it's very, 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 very conspicuous that people who work at Tides also work at, or used to work in the same office. You got people who, Dominion Voting, who literally works across the hall from George Soros's companies. Like, the whole thing is really, really kind of cozy. But, you know, obviously if you ask the media, there's no connection or relation between them, right? They also do bring up the floor plan as well. What's this?
If not, we'll leave you alone. Do you work for Dominion Voting?
Sorry, I'm running late for a meeting and I don't want...
Oh, it's okay. We'll just walk. Do you work for Dominion Voting at all? Ideology is right here. Was their office space subsidized by George Soros? Well, it's a question worth asking, isn't it? No, it's not a consent thing here on a public sidewalk, but if you do work for Dominion Voting, we are certainly interested to talk to you. Why do you think Dominion Voting chose a leftist incubator to set up office, to set up shop? Dominion Voting set up shop for Dominion Voting. She froze and she wouldn't answer. And I told her, if you don't work for Dominion Voting, you can just say no and we'll leave you alone. But no, she couldn't say that because I think she does work for Dominion Voting. Unfortunately, it's hard to tell. Yesterday, there was a few of them walking around with masks on, so it was pretty easy to ID them because they had company swag on, but I guess they've gotten a little bit smarter as of, well, today. Unfortunately for them, we're going to stick to this, and we're going to get to...
So look good on Rebel Media for obviously checking this out. Obviously, we'll keep you guys up to date on anything that does happen regarding this. I do think it is really, really suspicious. Like they say, Dominion Voting is working right next to a George Soros building. George Soros, not even George Soros building, George Soros floor, like office. This whole office building is left wing, far left wing. And you have George Soros and also Dominion Voting all working close to each other. Like, come on, really? And Dominion Voting just happened to be the same people that went through and were using machines for the election for 2020, which is now where we're going through and suspecting there's a lot of fraud going on. Yeah. Really? But anyway, guys, let me know what your thoughts are in that comment section below. If this video has been helpful, please smack that like button. If you're new to the channel, welcome and subscribe. Apart from that, guys, we'll see you in the next Demonetized video from YouTube tomorrow night. Maybe have a great night and enjoy.